Welcome back to the broadcast, everyone. For this episode, we're going to be talking again about Onijah Andrew Robinson,
Oh, yeah.
picking up where we left off last time.
Right.
So last time, as you'll recall, we talked about how she traveled to Pakistan to be with Nidal Ahmed Memon,
Yes.
a 19-year-old man that she met online.
Right.
I'm not talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. Understand? This city will be reconstructed. It will be fixed up right away. I'm asking the government for $100K in my pockets so I could do real estate. My husband will own it in Karachi. We will not live here, but we will get this job done right away. I'm asking for $20K right away in my pockets at the end of this week. That's all, folks, for today. That's it. He have nothing else to say. Goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you.
But why are you demanding 1,000K to government in which country?
100K
100K.
for real estate. I'm putting it back into the city. It's not going in my pockets. I want 20K in my pockets for me.
So what is your next plan? Are you staying here or going back?
I'm taking my family from Arcade Gardens, 605-A. I'm taking them and I'm taking them to Dubai.
Where is your family now?
It's private. I'm Muslim and it's against my religion to tell y'all my business. Have a nice day.
Onijah, where have you been last 3 months and have you reached Ahmed?
Excuse me. I just said it's against my religion to tell you my business, okay? I'm fine. Thank you. Would like for you guys to book my ticket back to New York. Money is short right now, and I would appreciate.
We talked about how she traveled to Pakistan to be with Nidal Ahmed Memon,
Yes.
a 19-year-old man that she met online.
Right.
And then we talked about how things went a little bit south when his family rejected the idea of them getting married.
Of course.
And then all the problems that stemmed from that, like her visa expiring
Yeah.
and her just kind of being stuck there without the support she needed.
Right. Yeah. Very difficult situation.
A very difficult situation. And since then, there have been some new developments. So
Yeah.
we're here to discuss those.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it.
So, moving on into January of this year, there were some reports
Okay.
about Onijah's health declining.
Right.
And it was also reported that she was denied accommodation by
Oh, wow.
multiple local establishments. So I wanted to get your take on
Yeah.
what could have led to such a dire situation. Well, I mean, you have to imagine what it would be like to be in her shoes.
Right.
A foreign woman alone in a place like Pakistan.
Yeah.
A very conservative society. And on top of that, her visa has expired.
Right.
So anybody that might otherwise be willing to help is going to be a little bit wary
Sure.
of the legal repercussions
Yeah.
of harboring somebody without a visa.
Right.
And then on top of that, there's just the social stigma
Uh.
of the situation, you know, this
Yeah.
failed marriage attempt with this much younger man.
Yeah.
People are going to be hesitant to get involved.
Right. And so thankfully, Chippa Welfare stepped in to help,
Yeah.
which is a local NGO, and they were able to offer her shelter and support.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And one of the things I thought was really interesting was that they
Yes.
assigned female volunteers to care for her,
Okay.
which seemed like it was a decision made out of understanding the cultural sensitivities
Absolutely.
of the situation.
You know, in a place like Pakistan, interactions between men and women who aren't related are often viewed through a pretty conservative lens. So, you know, having female volunteers attend to her needs just makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
in that context. And it really highlights the fact that they're providing culturally sensitive care, which is
Very important.
really impressive.
Yeah. So, it's not just the practical aid that's important, but that sense of
Right.
security and belonging that they were able to give her too.
Definitely.
But then things took another little turn when Onijah reportedly demanded $3,000 per week from the local authorities.
$3,000 a week.
Yeah, to cover her living expenses.
Wow.
Which
right.
seems like kind of an unusual request.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it really makes you wonder what was going through her head. Was it desperation?
Yeah.
Was there some misunderstanding of the local norms there?
Right.
Or was it just a strategic attempt to
Right.
leverage her situation somehow?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say without really being able to get into her mindset.
Right. And then as if all of that wasn't enough, We had another interesting development when Onijah's son, Jeremiah,
Okay.
came forward and gave a statement
Right.
where he described his mother as mentally unstable.
Wow.
And he revealed that he and his brother had actually been trying to bring her home
Okay.
and had even gone so far as to book her a return ticket.
So they had a ticket for her.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this new information?
I mean, this really adds a whole other layer to everything. I mean,
Yeah.
Jeremiah's statement really brings the issue of mental health to the forefront here.
Yeah.
And that's something that's often overlooked in these kinds of situations. You know, we don't know the specifics of Onijah's mental state,
Right.
but just imagine the stress she's under, the isolation, the culture shock.
Right.
All of these things could have had a profound impact on her mental well-being.
Right. And it's a good reminder that we're talking about a real person here
Yeah,
with real challenges.
absolutely.
And then suddenly, Onijah agreed to return to the U.S. Yeah. And she even mentioned needing help with travel arrangements due to limited funds.
Yeah.
So what do you think might have prompted this change of heart?
I mean, there are so many possibilities.
Yeah.
You know, maybe her health improved
Right?
and she felt more capable of making the journey, or maybe her son's efforts finally got through to her.
Right.
Maybe she just realized how difficult things really were for her in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
It's even possible that there was some intervention from the authorities that encouraged her
Right.
to return home.
Yeah.
It's really hard to know for sure
Yeah.
without more information.
Well, it has been quite the roller coaster of events, hasn't it?
Yeah, from like an online romance to a humanitarian crisis. And now she's potentially going back home.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It really is. And it's a story that I think really highlights the complexities of online relationships.
Yes.
And the potential for these cultural misunderstandings.
Absolutely.
And just the challenge of navigating a foreign legal system
yeah.
when you're not familiar with it. So as we wrap up this part of Onijah's story, I'd like to leave our listeners
Okay.
with a couple things to think about. What does this situation say about the lines between the digital world and reality,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to relationships?
Mm-hmm.
How do these cultural differences and legal systems intersect in cases like this? And what role do organizations like Chippa Welfare play in supporting
Yeah.
people that find themselves in these really tough situations abroad?
Yeah. I mean, these are really important questions, ones that I think we all need to be considering.
Definitely. And on that note, we'll wrap up this edition of the broadcast. Please tune in next time for another captivating story.